Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, man. With the Salaf. We're back with another video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Y'all know the deal. Make sure you like, click on that notification bell, share, spread love. You know, we all about positivity. Today, I just want to share my journey with the Quran, you know. How did it all started? Not from the jump, but like more of like how is it going right now, you know? What made me take the route I'm taking now, you know? Everything that's happening is part of Allah's plan, you know. So that's why we always gotta be grateful, you know, and just continue to ask Allah to guide us upon the straight path. But yeah, so my Quran, bro. Alright, so let me start off when I came. So I had went to Gambia. Like my parents shipped me to Gambia to memorize, you know, which that's kind of normal, right? And most kids, like a lot of kids in America, you know, the parents will send them back home, either just to like learn the culture or like, you know, learn more about Islam. So I was sent back home to the boarding school. Came back to New York. The boarding school, like, I'm gonna make sure I have a podcast episode about that. We're gonna break that down. Boarding school was tough. It was, wallahi, it was like you know, like the jail movies that we watching is like it's tough. It was tough. Wallahi, it was tough. But yeah, just stay tuned for that. You know, I'm gonna make inshallah soon. Either when I get back to the city, make a podcast episode about that. But yeah, so when I got back middle school. So I went there when I was young, super young, like 7, 8, came back 13, 14, got into middle school, graduated. So I'm just fast forwarding. Everything started in high school. Like I just skipped to high school. High school days was crazy. Oh man, those times, if you was in New York during those times, what is it, 09, 010, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think everything slowly to die down, like 14, 15. But if you was out there 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, those were the days. We were majnoons in there, wallahi. So, you know, I got back. I just tapped into, like, you know, regular teen stuff, you know, wanted to like party, hang out, chill, go to the park, you know what I'm saying, like all of that stuff. We was doing all of that. So as I was doing all of that, I wasn't really on the Quran like that. So the Quran was like, after I memorized the Quran, it was just something that it was a mission that I accomplished. Like, you know, my parents sent me out there, I memorized, but it didn't. I don't know what to say. Like it's not sitting in my heart as it's sitting there right now. It was just all right. I just memorized, and that's why like a lot of kids, a lot of teens, a lot of young boys, or young women, young girls that's in New York. You see them, they acting up. Just to share like some of the reasons behind it is like it wasn't really up to them to like go study the Quran. So like, you know. For the most of them, it was just something they had to do, and they just did it. And then, all right, continue with life. You know, I want to continue with what I missed out. By the way, I'm not a good storyteller, so forgive me if like my story is not hitting, you know. But I just want to share this. I think like someone out there might relate, you know, or use the information to like support someone they know, you know, or try to see, you know, where they coming from. But yeah, so like high school days, just chilling. Muraja, no. The revision, nah. The only time I revise the Quran is like Ramadan. You know, again, when the parents, you know, your parents, at that time, at that age, you know, your pastor will ask you to lead to, he will, you know, like he would just tell you, like, all right, you know, I spoke to the imams at this masjid, you're going to be leading there, you know? But if it was the choice for us, a lot of us, we wouldn't be leading Ramadan. So it was something that either our parents tell us to do or like the community just asked us for us to do it. and there's no one else to do it, so you say, why not, you know? So those were the times where we only do muraja, like Ramadan after Ramadan, Ramadan after Ramadan, you know? So it was just like that, just chilling. You know, I got lost in the world, you know? So when what is it, 2015, 14, 15, 16 was the plot change for me, you know? That's when everything like kind of started to slow, you know? I wouldn't say I started to lose friends, but because they still my friends to this day. Like I love all my guys, but like our relationship kind of changed, you know, because I was looking more directly into, you know, trying to get back my Quran, where their focus was on something else, whether it was just getting money, you know. But yeah, and then that all started from, all right, so there was a competition, a Quran competition. So then that was the first Quran. If you guys from the Bronx, that was the first Quran competition, right? So that competition, all you gotta do is just like select a page and read. You select your own page and you read it. All right, copy. So I'm like, that's light, you know, and like in that time, like we think like when you at that time, like just not knowing the not really tapping into the tajweed rulings and stuff like that, you know, you would think like just slowing down your voice or the tone or just imitating Hosari, that gives you some sort of like tajweed, you know, when it's not, it was more to it. And then that time, I can speak for myself, like I was assuming just like Nunu Sakin and Tanween, that's all you gotta know for tajweed, you know that? Hey, so we entered that competition. Whew. I remember Ibu was there, Hanif, Muhammad Barry, that's my guy from Masjid Siddiq, Abubakar Wage, Pablo, a lot of the young bulls, you know. So, and I remember I didn't end up winning. Like, and mind you, this is like you select the page that you want to read, and you read, and then there was like 3 winners, and I was not first, second, or third. So I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, hold on. Damn. I did bad. Like I gotta get my tajweed up. You know what I'm saying? I copy. So that's when I started going to the Masjid Siddiq. And I started studying with my Sheikh Abdul Rashid. That time Ibu was been there. Like he was there like, I don't know, 2013. Like when he finished like his first senior year in high school or sophomore, I think that's when he started going to the masjid. I didn't start till like my first year or second year in college, you know, or my second semester or third semester. So I met, mind you, so Ibu was if you guys know Ibu, I don't know, so Ibu was my cousin, you know. Even though he was my cousin, we weren't that close before. You guys see him on the channel, Hanif, right? We wasn't that close before. Even though he was family, it was just, all right, like when I see him, dap him up, oh, what's up, cousin? And then just that, we just keep moving. We was never chilling like that, no, nothing like that. So I, you know, but at the same masjid, I'm sorry if I'm going a little pace, but at that same Masjid Siddiq was somewhere, it was the masjid where I teach and lead Tarawih prayers, like Ramadan prayers. So at that time, I was coming in just, at that time, me and Sheikh Abdul Rashid, you know, it was more of like, all right, I just teach in the same place as him, and I also lead prayers. Like, you know, he was my teacher back then. He was just like, he was the sheikh of the masjid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like something like that, whatever. So I started going there. I'm like, all right, you know what? I got like, I can't have spent like 6 years in boarding school, come back to New York, come back to America, come back to the U.S. and just forget about everything. Nah, something is just off about that. So I'm like, cool. I started doing my muraja. I started reading the Asim, you know. I wanted to get my ijazah from him. I think that's when I started. So I started reading with him. And I would just, you know, I wanted to prove myself, you know. So I at that time, I just wanted to get back what I had, So the next competition, by the way, shout out to Featuring Islam, Maybe if it wasn't for that competition, I probably wouldn't, I don't know. Like, I probably would, it wouldn't, that would have been the motive for me at that time, So, so the next competition, I'm like, there's something, I need to prove myself. Like, failure? What? Bro, different, nah. I just hate failing. It was a lesson learned. Alhamdulillah, I failed. If I was to win in the first one, I wouldn't feel like there's any room for learning. Because just of my ignorance, I just say no. So second one came in. I was like, so when it was like the second one came in, it started like about, it started around May, June, like after Ramadan, So January, February, I was putting in work. I was doing muraja for the competition. Came into the competition, yeah. Ibu came in first. Another Ibrahim came in second. And I think Wangsin came in third. I was disappointed. But I improved, right? I don't know how I felt. Like, you know what I'm saying? I felt bad, like, I took that L again. But then I liked my recitation, but my hips was supposed to get stronger. It wasn't that strong enough. And that was because even though I was in the masjid, I started going to the masjid. I was still like halfway in, halfway out. Like the masjid day, I'll go in the masjid, and then like the off days, like just bad old habits that I was doing, and I know I had to let that go. I know, So I was like, nah. Next year I'm going extra hard. Next year come up. And then between the years, obviously, there's a lot happening. I'm just summarizing, kind of. I don't want to say. I don't be here all day. So the next year came out. Whew. That one, I gotta get number one, and that's not like, it wasn't for no like, cause I want subhanAllah. I want people to praise me. He nice. Oh, nah. It was just something for myself. Like, it was something for myself, and also the ajr as well, and then all this time, me not knowing, like, just doing these revisions for the competition and just like trying to learn more. I was building the love of the Quran in my heart without even realizing it. You know what I'm saying? It came to a point where, like, if I don't read Quran, I feel sad. Like, let's say I go for a week without reading because, like, I got lazy. And one day I would just feel so empty. Like, I'm like, I'm missing something. And maybe the Quran, it got to that. So the last one, my son Ibu, he takes it every year. He's GOAT. He's the GOAT of New York when it comes to Quran. He's my GOAT. I don't know what your GOAT, that's my GOAT. Hanif is my GOAT. So he sat out that year. They said, "Oh no, it's not fair. He can't get in." I wanted him to stay in because I wanted to compete with him. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to compete with him. But yeah, I was studying muraja nights. I used to work overnight shift. When I go to work, when it hits 1 o'clock, muraja. Competition came in. First question, Ali Muhammad Silla come to the stage, came on. First question, bodied. Second question, bodied. Third question, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم. Oh my God, my heart. I was like, oh, this is the third question? Surah Al-Imran, one of my favorite surahs. Like inside of me, I was, you know what I'm saying? I said, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alif Lam Mim, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Then stop. Bro, my mind went blank. My mind went blank. Wallahi. Oh my God. You did it. You first question body, second question, only the third question. Anybody that knows Al-Imran, that's the beginning of the surah. That should be the easiest question. Wallahi, I didn't get it. They corrected me. I read the rest of the page with no mistake. And then we figured out that we then found out there's only two places in that competition. Like there's only a first place and second place. For some reason, I don't know. That happened last minute. Or I don't know. Like we just didn't know about it. We thought it was gonna be first, second, and third, but they announced it. Oh, it was only first and second place. At that point, I was really like, after I read, I think I sat a little bit and I went out. Like, and then again, it wasn't for like, oh, because I want to be it's more of like I wanted me to again prove myself and just be the best that I can be, you know, without no like arrogance, you know what I'm saying? May Allah protect us from that. So I was tight, bro. I went out. I cried, bro. I went out, cried. I remember when they was calling everyone to the stage, and they was calling my name. Mans was calling me. I didn't want to be on the stage. Like, I was just so disappointed in myself. Wallahi. And then after that, wallahi, like I just went in. It was just up from there, like just going in, trying to learn more, different qira'ats, you know, and alhamdulillah. And then, yeah, bro. And now, so all right, so I got to a point. I'm like, all right, you know what? I know how to read the Quran. Not perfectly, but you know. So, but I don't really understand the meaning. What's the point of knowing how to recite the Quran properly and you barely know the meaning? That wasn't sitting well for me. So I was like, you know what? I gotta come to Egypt. I gotta go to Egypt. And as I'm recording this video, I'm in Egypt right now. So the next video that I'm gonna drop, I know this video is hella long, but the next video I'm gonna drop, it's gonna be shorter. You know, me and my boy Jabril, we're just gonna share our experience with Egypt. You know, I came to Egypt to study the Arabic language, so I can understand my deen more. You know, I can understand what I'm reading. You know, and yeah, and then you know, when I'm teaching my kids on how to read the Quran, I can also teach them what is the Quran telling them to do, not just, you know, reciting it. However, learning how to recite the Quran is also very, 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 very important, not downplaying it. Understanding it is as important. Both are very, very highly important. Right? And, you know, there's a question, so would you rather be someone that memorize the Quran or just know the tafsir of the Quran and not memorize? I would still choose memorize the Quran. Memorizing the Quran, bro, once the Quran is placed on your heart, bro, it's nothing. Like, it's medicine. It's medicine, for real. It's medicine. And it's a protection, it's medicine. Yawm al-Qiyamah, on Judgment Day, you know, Allah will tell you to recite from Qasr bin-Nas to wherever you stop. You know, and as you recite it, you're going a level. And you recite every hizb, every chapter, you're going up You're going to the highest level of Al-Jannah. The highest level. If you memorize the whole Quran, you'll be on the top of Al-Jannah. May Allah grant all of us Al-Jannah. Stay tuned for part 2. Part 2 is going to be short. Make sure you subscribe. Stop playing with me. Yallah.